Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name's Zoe. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I do hope that you decide to subscribe and also turn on that bell so you're notified every single time that I post. And if you're a current subscriber, please just make sure that your bell is on, as YouTube doesn't like notifying you about true crime content. So today's video is a Halloween true crime video. Now I'm aware Halloween has been and gone because I'm in fact filming on Halloween, but I got behind a little bit with my schedule and things like that. As you know, I've been moving house, things are crazy, so I do apologise about that. But you can have true crime any time of the day, so it doesn't matter if it's after Halloween or before Halloween or whatever. Today's video is actually a collab with the wonderful Hannah Sims. Now she has only just started a YouTube channel, she's got about 200 subscribers, so please make sure that you go and check out her channel after this video, because we will be posting a video on her channel. So that means today you'll be getting 2 videos with me on it, so it's like a bonus. So let's jump in to today's video. Today we are talking about the Liske family murders. In the Liske family, there was 46-year-old Susan, there was 53-year-old William, there was 25-year-old William Liske Jr., 23-year-old Derek Griffin and 16-year-old Devon Griffin. And the whole family lived together in Columbus, Ohio in the United States. On the 31st of October 2010, 16-year-old Devon Griffin arrived home in the early morning to get changed and ready for church. He had stayed at his father's house the night before. When he got home on that Sunday morning, he noticed that his stepbrother William Liske Jr. was at home. Devon then left for church. Now he was only in the home maybe for a couple of minutes, but this was the same routine as he did every weekend. Later that day he returned home from church. Now it seemed like nobody was at home, nobody was anywhere to be seen. He called out for his parents, but there was no answer. He did what any normal teenager would do. He went up to his bedroom and sat and played video games for a couple of hours.
When it got to 1:30 p.m, Devon was getting concerned. His whole family, his mother, his stepfather, his brother and stepfather had to be either asleep or still out. He started to feel that the whole situation was getting a bit weird, so he decided to go to his parents' room to check if they were asleep. When he walked into his parents' room, he could see that his parents were lied flat down on their bed with the covers over them. When he pulled the covers over their head, he started to shout to his mum. He started shaking his mum, but his mum would not wake up. Then he decided to shout to his stepfather, and his stepfather would not wake up either. When he looked down, he realised that his mother's leg was out of the cover. So he tapped and started shaking her leg in hopes of waking her up, but she wouldn't wake up. He pulled the cover over his mother and saw that the pillow was absolutely soaked in blood. He initially thought that his mother and his father or the rest of his family were playing a prank on him, because they recently had a Halloween party the night before, and he just thought this was some joke or some prank, that his whole family were pranking him. But it wasn't a prank. He had just found his mother and his stepfather dead in their bed.
Devon was screaming at the top of his lungs. He didn't know what to do. He was crying, he was frantic. So he just ran straight out of the house and called his aunt. She quickly called 911 for him, and she made her way to the home. When police searched the home, it was discovered that Susan and William had been killed in their beds upstairs. And also downstairs, Derek Griffin had also been killed in his bed. Police struggled to come to a conclusion on how William and Susan had been killed. The wounds they sustained were horrible, and police didn't know whether they had been stabbed or shot, and their bodies were in quite a bad way. Police initially thought that Derek had been killed with a claw hammer. There was a bloody claw hammer found in his bedroom, and later on police confirmed that this was his cause of death, as the claw hammer matched his wounds. Neighbours had also told police that they heard gunshots on that morning at around 6:30 a.m. Police soon started their investigations. The victim's family and the whole community was shocked about what happened, and they just wanted the perpetrator caught. Firstly, they talked to Devon. He had been in the house after the killings and he found the bodies. so this made him a crucial witness.
Police soon found out about William Jr., also known to the family as BJ. They found out that he had been home the night before and during the day, and he hadn't been killed with the rest of the family, but strangely nowhere to be seen. So this instantly made investigators suspicious. It was discovered that BJ wasn't the best child. He seemed to be troubled whilst growing up, and he also had many mental health issues along with depression and anger issues. He had also been on the police radar in the past for assault, and many of these assaults were actually against his own family. One time he had thrown a cup at his stepmother and stolen her keys. He was arrested for assault, but later the charges were actually dropped. He was even arrested for armed robbery, but every time he was in trouble, he would get off by pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. His mental health had played a big part in his life. He had also been depressed and feeling very suicidal. He had been admitted to many mental health hospitals many times for his own safety. And in each one of these facilities, he would actually assault and steal from staff and patients. Police officers that actually dealt with BJ in the past claimed him as being a very violent child. However, William always wanted what was best for his child, so he would pay for every hospital treatment, and his whole family said that William absolutely adored BJ.
Like I said earlier, Devon saw BJ in the house on that day when he had come home to change his clothes. So that meant that BJ was in the house at the time of the murders. BJ usually didn't talk to anybody, so surprisingly on that day when Devon came home, he was very talkative and asking a lot of questions, which was very strange for Devon. Whilst he was at home changing, Devon had also told police that nobody was around and nobody was awake. It is believed that the 3 family members were dead in their beds that morning whilst Devon was there, but he didn't have a clue. Given all the information provided, police concluded that they only had one suspect, BJ Liske. The search began for BJ. Now, it was believed that he had taken the family car, so Devon managed to describe the make and the model of the car to the police officers, and this information was passed on to officers in the area, people who were patrolling, and all the local police stations. They tried desperately to track down BJ and this truck, and all the hard work paid off. Just a few hours later, BJ was actually found at a cabin over 170 miles away from his home.
When police approached the cabin, they saw BJ on the porch smoking a cigarette. The officers stepped out of the vehicle, walked up to BJ with a gun drawn and told him to get down. The officer kept BJ on the floor until backup arrived. He was initially charged with just one murder, but when he was charged with all 3, he pleaded not guilty against reasons of his mental health. He claimed he loved his family and he didn't want to do anything that would ever hurt them. He also claimed to say that he actually felt physically ill every time he thought about what he had just done. BJ was kept on a $1 million bond until the trial started, but shortly during his trial, BJ changed the plea to guilty in change of the death penalty. He was given a life sentence in 2011 for the murders of his stepmother, his father, and stepbrother. Their whole family was completely turned upside down. A son was left without his mother. The family would never see them again. It's truly devastating that a son could actually do this to his own family members.
After spending 3 years in prison, BJ committed suicide in his cell. Now that is all the information I have for this case. Now I just want to make you aware, when I was researching this case, there was a lot of different information and weird sources, and I didn't know if it was reliable, so I didn't insert that information. If you want to take a closer look at this case, then give it a Google. You can find all these other bits of information there. I just didn't want this video to come across as I'm just spreading false information, as I like to have all the facts. So that's why I decided to leave a lot of information out. So that is all for this video, but don't fret. There is a video over on Hannah's channel if you want another true crime video. So make sure you go to the iCard. I'll try and do it. If not, there will be a link in the description jump over to her channel and go and watch the video over there. She's done a great job working alongside of me. Now I'm not saying that I'm a bro YouTuber, because it's clear that I'm not, but I've been doing this a little longer, I suppose, than her, so being able to give her the tips and tricks I have and helping her out a little bit has just been overall amazing. She is good at what she does, so make sure you jump over to her channel and also hit the subscribe button over there. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a massive thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I shall see you in my next true crime video. Bye.